All and at the time of this recording, we are been diving deep into how to grow your recurring revenue for your membership, group program, or creative agency. Hey everybody, my name is Melody and I'm the founder of The Course Consultant. I help course creators, agencies, and service-based business owners create better curriculum and experiences for their internal customers, teams, and their customers, leading to better retention, better customer success, and better testimonials so you can market your programs and services. So today we're going to dive into how to identify creating growth revenue goals, find some new opportunities for some revenue in your business so that you can have a successful quarter. Let's go ahead and dive into this. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and share with you how this works in terms of your goals. So first off, let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so today we're going to be talking specifically about how to calculate your churn, how to identify those revenue growth goals, and creating a retention growth plan. This will be a really quick training, and it's super great because I have a free tool for you to check out. It's called thecourseconsultant.com/retention calculator. So if you're not a numbers person, this is a great tool to use. You can head on over, enter the details for your group program or curriculum, and just see how these numbers stack up. Let's go ahead and make sure that you already have the workbook. If you don't have the workbook, I have a great workbook. Make sure that you head on over to that calculator that I just shared with you so you can head over and grab the workbook that goes over everything you need to know to build that recurring revenue. So retention and revenue goal planning, the first thing that we need to evaluate is, first off, where are you? Where are you in terms of your revenue goals? Have you hit the monthly recurring revenue goal that you want? If not, where do you want to be? Are there some changes in your group coaching program, membership, or perhaps in your agency that you want to be able to change over the next month, over the next 3 months? Or maybe you're hiring on new team members and you want to be able to have more ease in your team onboarding and development for your efficiencies, and maybe your standard operating procedures needs a little bit of work. So we all need to do our due diligence in evaluating where we are and where we want to be. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we want to do is head on over back to that tool that I previously shared. We're going to play around with some numbers, but it's really important to consider, what is our retention goal? Last week, I shared with you why retention matters, how to calculate your churn, and some important tools that you need to evaluate your business growth. Or if you're a leader in an organization, what your team needs in order to continue growing and contributing to the overall business as a whole. The second thing we're going to evaluate is, what is the new annual retention goal? This means that essentially, anytime our monthly retention goal has an increase, we need to keep that same increase and continue that same resource every single month thereafter. So let's say that we increase our retention goal 1% every single month, and we keep it consistent over an entire year. Well, that definitely contributes to the annual revenue. And number 3, we want to evaluate, what is the recovered revenue overall, meaning what is the total amount of recovered revenue for our programs and our clients. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and pull up that specific resource, and then I'm going to show you how this works in terms of actually being able to pull this together. So let's go ahead and check out the retention calculator. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. I know it's been a very heavy week for me. There's been so many things happening in the world, and so I just think about ways that I can make the world better and help everyone out. So I am glad that I can be here to listen and help y'all. So do comment below. If you're watching this live, let me know. Leave me a live in the comments or replay in the comments, because I'd love to know. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to play with some real numbers. So the current monthly active paying students, this would be a student or a member base. If you have a SaaS business, this would be your customers or free trial users. paid trial users. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to say that this is for a cohort. Maybe it's $1,000 monthly commitment, and those students pay every single month. Last month, let's say that 50 students canceled the program or membership, and then we're going to go ahead and enter in what is the average fee charged for the program on a month-to-month basis. Now, this is a higher amount, and obviously, this will depend on what your pricing is and at what the calculations are in terms of your existing churn for your business or for your organization. So we're going to play around with this slider here, and you can see here that this slider goes all the way up to 10%, but to do that, it's very unlikely that that would actually be realistic. So I always like to start small and see just what a small increase would look like. And you can play around with these numbers and see what it would look like for you, because a 1 to 3% increase would be pretty substantial. So moving back over here, it says that we've punched in the numbers, the existing churn rate, meaning the rate at which we're losing customers from our subscription-based business, is 0.05. That's 5%. That's the rate at which you are losing students. This is the amount of lost monthly revenue. So again, remembering that we said every single member was paying $1,000 a month. And if we lost 50 members, that's $50,000 of monthly revenue that have gone away. So again, you've lost 50 members. That's $1,000 per member. And at a monthly basis, that's $50,000 per month that we're losing out on. So it's pretty substantial. If you recovered just 1%, you would gain $1,000 back. Recovered revenue is referring to the amount of revenue that you've gained back from winning back your customer or saving the sales. This is really, really eye-opening because a lot of people only focus on just acquiring new customers, but the special secret sauce is that you can gain customers back by finding out ways that you can have them return or continue with the subscription they're in. So month one revenue, $1,000. And over the course of just 1 year, if we kept that consistent, we increased our retention. Therefore, our churn rate is going down. This is the annual recovered revenue over month retention. So again, $12,000. It's keeping that member satisfied just from that 1% retention increase to $12,000. Now, again, this might look very different if your numbers are different. If you have another program or your price looks different, definitely keep this in mind. You can change this and play around with those numbers. So do take a look at that. Okay, so what's very important is we want to create a goal. What is the retention goal around our new retention idea? Let's say that we had a churn rate of 3% and our goal was to bring it down to 2% or 2.5%. So our monthly retention goal would be calculated based off of what was realistic for us and our previous performance. And of course, we can shoot for high goals, but again, you might want to try just to start and see if you can increase it between 5 to 1% over the course of a year. And if you want to go all the way and do 2% increase or 3% or even 5%, go for it. Enter in your new annual retention goal. So again, the goal here is for you to identify, is a 1% increase realistic? Is a 3% increase realistic? And now you can start looking at what is the total of the annual recovered revenue. We took a look at what that looked like for 1%. Now imagine if that was 2% increase and or a 3% increase. Even a 3% increase or a 1% increase, you could start seeing how this dollar signs or the calculations are really building off of each other, which is really, really amazing to see. So again, what is a realistic retention rate? So I don't want anyone to say, well, I'm not sure if 5% is a realistic retention rate for me. Perhaps it's going to look a lot better if you have a retention rate between 1 to 2%. Every student counts, every customer counts, and it's really important to find ways that you can build momentum from your processes and internal systems so it makes it easier for your team and your process to really support customers over a longer and higher volume than you have in the past. So, building up that retention rate and having that realistic idea, we're going to increase it between zero point 0.5 to 1 to 2% over the course of a year. That's a great goal. And if you want to go higher, you can, and maybe you'll meet somewhere in the middle. So it's really great to start thinking about these ideas. You can grow your revenue base with repeat clients by watching the next step. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit more about revenue opportunities, which look like specific types of offers that your business might provide. This might look differently for you based off of your business model and your industry. So, keep that in mind that this will differ from case by case. So, expansion revenue is basically additional revenue that's booked based off of or supplemental of the main product or offering. So, like, let's say that you have a membership. You have a membership and people pay on a monthly basis, and or they're getting some sort of coaching or consulting. Maybe you have an agency model. Some other ways that you can grow some additional revenue into your business is to create and or continue to offer different opportunities to work with you. This might look like annual or quarterly retreats, a monthly membership. Again, let's say you're an agency model, you can offer a membership, a one-on-one intensive. Maybe it's going to look a little bit different, like a line of clothing or a line of merchandise or a book. Those are considered expansion revenues. So, based off of the original product or program, we're offering additional options to work with us. What is expansion revenue? So, it's booked revenue generated outside of the original customer's initial purchase product or service, right? So, some of the different types of expansion revenue have different names, and I'm going to use this in terms of a recent trip to McDonald's. You have your upselling and your cross selling. So, have you ever heard when you were trying to check out from maybe a fast food establishment, do you want to increase your drink and upgrade to a venti size or to a bigger size package? Then you would say, yeah, I would be interested in getting a jumbo drink or something like that. So we are already have the main product. Let's say it's the hamburger, right? So you're interested in getting the drink, and then the cashier says, I would like you to know that we have an additional offer. Just for 50 cents more, you can actually get the full jumbo size drink. Now, we have the main hamburger, and if we wanted to cross sell something, we could also say, well, I know the hamburger is really great, but if you wanted to, you can also get these fries, and the fries are really good. Of course, we can actually bundle these items all together to make a complete meal package. So, if we're looking at a membership or a group coaching program, or if we're looking at a creative agency, these are things that you probably already do all the time, but you didn't know what they were exactly called. You probably have your own way of saying it: bundling, cross selling, upselling, promoting, whatever it is that you want to call it. These are different opportunities for sharing offers and products and services with your audience. So, what I would love for you to do is to go in, grab that worksheet, which is available inside of my free community, and you can get access to this information and work through it step by step. Days 2 homework assignment will help you outline all of the key things that you want to do. And you'll want to make sure that you watch day 1, which we did last week, which goes over more of this process step by step. So finally, what you're going to do is enter in all of the information about your existing programs or services, enter in that detail into the retention calculator, and then you'll need to complete 9 and 10 in the workbook and of course, ask questions. So there's so much that I could go into, and certainly I won't be able to cover every single question as it relates to these metrics. But I hope that you've learned something new and interesting about the way that you're offering your business and supporting your clients and customers. If you have any questions and if you'd like a copy of that workbook and you want access to watching days 1 and days 2, where we uncover how to calculate all of the recurring revenue that you could be having through retention and customer success. And if you want that, definitely send me an email, hello@thecourseconsultant.com. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can get access to that free resource as well. And you can also, of course, send me a message. I would love to hear from you. What eye-opening numbers have you seen in this training? DM me directly on Instagram, The Course Consultant. And of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Leave me a comment. What was eye-opening for you? All right, friends, that's it for today's training on how to grow your recurring revenue. Make sure that you join us next week for our next training, day 3, where we'll be identifying how to create a change management plan for your internal team members or your external customers so that you can have a smooth transition from migrating systems, changing your structure, your service, your flow. I would love to have you join me. We're also going to be making some additional offers for you so that you can learn more about how you can get support from me at The Course Consultant if you need help setting up your systems, auditing your onboarding, making sure that you have a better customer experience for your students, clients, and customers. That's it for today. I hope that you have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll